What's up, Hammerheads? Welcome back to the channel. We're in the garage today. We got a few Christmas presents that we're gonna put in the old A5. Already got her jacked up. Also, guys, jack stands. Use them. Don't die. Use jack stands. So today we got two parts to put on the car, and one is a piece for the transmission mount. It is a filler piece. Billet aluminum. It's meant to slide into the existing mount and fill voids, so it has less movement. So we're gonna jump under the car and we're gonna throw that piece in. It's super simple. It's two bolts, pull them out, slide this little filler piece up in, put the bolts back in, done. So we have that to do, and hopefully the rear end on this thing, the mount in the rear end, we've got some little billet pieces that are, oh, see those snowflakes? We had a Christmas party here a little while ago and we got these crazy snowflakes to hang up. I didn't take them down yet. But we got these little billet aluminum filler pieces that we're gonna throw in the rear differential mount, and same deal as the transmission mount. They're just meant to fill voids and take away some movement and stiffen those mounts up without replacing the entire mount with some sort of motorsports piece. All the mounts actually feel pretty good on this car. This car isn't that old yet, and everything seems to be in pretty nice shape. But these parts are going to stiffen everything up on the cheap, budget-minded as always, and hopefully we get some driveline responsiveness out of that. So let's jump under the car and pull that transmission mount. All right, guys, so we're under the car and here's the transmission mount. And right up in there, you can see that guy right there and that guy right there. Those are, what is that thing? I think it's an M10 triple square. And we got to pull those loose. So we'll pull those loose, pull that little piece of metal out, and then that guy will go up in there. Oof, that blue is ugly. I'm the only one that'll ever see it, so, and maybe the mechanic. But we're gonna pull those loose, pull that plate down, and see how this thing fits up in there. Anytime you're using these triple squares, make sure they are fully seated, because sometimes they have a tendency to want to like walk around like that, and if you're not seated up in there properly, it could strip and then you're gonna be real mad. So luckily these pulled right out very easily, and that plate is coming right down like I said, and this new piece should slip right up in there and fill the voids between the rubber. So yeah, don't yell at me. I know my car has an oil leak. It is what it is, guys. So it's looking like this sucker's gonna be pretty tight. That piece got to stay. This should fit. Oh yeah, there it went. All right, guys, so that's it. Boom. Put these back in, and that is done. And like I said before, all that is designed to do is fill in the voids and make all this, you know, move around a little bit less. Have less movement, less compliancy. So, it doesn't get much easier than that. Wind these back in and tighten this up. Oh, look out. So we'll work these back and forth, and we don't want to over tighten this at all because these bolts aren't incredibly large and you can break them pretty easy. So we could look up a torque spec on this, but you know, we're just gonna go gym spec on this thing. Tighten them up to about the same tightness they were to remove. Try to remember how tight they were when you removed them, put them back in about the same, you should be good. That one needs a little bit more. All right, guys, that's it. Boom. That's done. Doesn't get much easier. Okay, so here's a little better view of this fill-in piece that's going to go into the rear differential mount. Now, there's 3 mounts on the rear differential. There's 2 rear ones and 1 front one. And these are for the rear mounts. We have 2 of them that are going to go in. And see all these weird looking pieces on here? Those are voids in the rubber mount. And this slides into those voids and then gets bolted in, and you're done. Like I said, these are just little fill-in pieces. I did them on my last car, and it really did make a noticeable difference. So I'm hoping to get some gains out of these as well. They're very, very simple, really easy to do. So let's jump under the back of the car and throw these in. Alrighty guys, so we're under the back of the car, and rear differential, and that bolt there, and that bolt right there. Those are the ones that got to come out. And if I can get you a view up in there, see how there's voids in that rubber? That's what this guy slides into. So you got to get those bolts pulled out, slide those in, put the bolt back in. That's all. Okay guys, so I got a breaker bar and a 19 mil. Let's see if we can crack this loose. Alright. No big deal. Alright. So now that I got it cracked loose, you know what? That's an 18 mil. Hold up. Yeah, my mistake. That wasn't a 19, that's an 18. So now that I got it cracked loose with the breaker bar, we can put a regular 3/8 ratchet on this thing. Pull it out a little easier than using that great big breaker bar. Now, might need a little pry bar or something to pry this bolt out, but I think it's going to have quite a bit of thread on it. Oh yeah, she's still going. Now, while we're doing this, you want to pay attention, make sure our diff doesn't move. Because if the diff moves, you know, it won't be lined up anymore. Yeah, see that? If I smack it, I can bounce that diff around a little bit, make that bolt come out a little easier. Still got thread, still thread. Okay, there we are. Alright, we're out. Bada bing. So, our new JHM differential bushing filler should go right in there. Now, what we can do is, that sucker's probably going to be pretty darn tight going in there. We can try to lube this thing up a little bit. Now, we might have to get in there, scratch around with something, clean that up. It looks like we got a little corrosion on the edges, so might have to want it a little bit. Oh, okay, there, it started. Yeah. All right. It's gonna go. One thing we can do to make this go in a little easier, I have some silicone grease right over here. Now, you don't want to use any petroleum-based grease when you're working with rubber. You want to use a silicone-based grease. We could throw a little bit of this grease on here. It might make this thing slide in a little easier. When in doubt, lube it up. So this stuff is thicker than a Snicker. It actually feels like, you know, silicone that you'd use around your windows and doors or something, actually. So this thing goobed up a little bit. Let's see if she'll slide in there now. Yeah. Yeah. All right, it started. Now that we're started, maybe we can pry off of something. That ain't. Oh. Yep, we were started. Yeah, might fight us a little. Yeah. Yeah. Golly, that burger fits tight. Yeah. Probably draw it in a little bit with the bolt, but I don't want to do that if we don't have to. I'd like to see it thread in on its own without forcing it. Yeah, we might have to see if we can draw it in. Seems to be pulling in pretty easily, so we'll draw it in with the bolt. It definitely fits nice and tight. That's a good thing. Anybody that might be watching this video that's from the South, I envy you. As you can see, my car definitely has a little bit of rust here and there. Mainly surface rust, no big deal. But all you Southern boys don't get it. Southern gals as well. These Northern cars, they can suck to work on. Alright. Now, this bolt was pretty tight, so we're gonna put it back in pretty tight. Grab our breaker bar. Snug this bolt back up, and that side is done. Yeah. Alright guys, that side is in. So, other side is the exact same. Bolt right over there. So, you don't need to watch me do it twice. That's the process. Do both sides, and you're done. Okay, so we're all done. That was it. Couple quick little projects that I promise you, if you do those rear differential mounts, it'll make a big difference. The transmission mount, I don't know if it'll really make any noticeable difference, but it was $30 on eBay. The back JHM pieces were around $100, something like that. So pretty cheap day, all in all. And you know, we'll stiffen up the chassis a little bit, and when we throw more horsepower at this thing down the road, it'll handle it better. So that's what I like to focus on, is all the supporting mods. Get all that stuff done. Take care of your chassis, your suspension. Make it look nice too while you're at it. And then throw the horsepower at it later. That's my theory. You could call it what you want. But that's it. That's the day. Before we go, I did a few little things in the interior because I like my cars to look nice, and I like that, you know, show thing. Hopefully this car goes to a couple shows this year, now that we're in 2025. So I got a couple little things to show you on the inside. Maybe you'll think it's cool. So on these doors right here, that used to be wood, and I wrapped it with a carbon fiber wrap. Now you can buy actual real carbon fiber for that, but it's stupid money. Wrap is cheap, and it doesn't do anything other than look cool. So just wrap it, save yourself the money. So I did that. I did that piece right there. I did that piece right there. See if I can get some light on all this. Sorry, it's dark inside the car, hard to see. But all that, the center console as well, other door, and there's pieces back there that I did too. So just you know, freshen up the interior a little bit, get rid of the stupid fake wood and put some stupid fake carbon fiber in its place. So that's it, guys, we're done. Like I always say, please like, share, subscribe, tap the bell to get notifications, the little thumbs up button, if you could hit that, it'd be cool. So deuces, catch you in the next one.